Hello and welcome back to Foos Entertainment. This time for my review of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 from 2017, which I actually have in this very cool exclusive steelbook. Now, why the steelbook? Because it was the only way that you could get your hands on the 3D version of the movie. And it was very, very important for me to have the 3D version of this movie. And boy, does it not deliver. I mean, boy, does it pay off. I mean, does it deliver. The 3D in this movie is just as good, or perhaps just a tad bit better than the first one. But I would say it's just as good. Somewhere in that ground. Again, the combination of really 3D 240 by 1 wide with the 178 by 1 IMAX wide and IMAX 3D version combination in the movie. But yeah, definitely a good 3D experience. Really enjoyed it. As for the plot and summary of the movie, it takes place mere months after the events of Guardians of the Galaxy. If not sooner. And I say sooner, probably only about a few weeks after the events of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. Let's just be on the safe side. 1 month after. Guardians of the Galaxy, of course, are hired to protect these light bulbs. Protect these light bulbs. And basically, Rocket don't like these guys, so he steals the light bulbs. And the entire Hamaya fleet from these people that hired the Guardians of the Galaxy start hunting them down. They get saved from sorry about that. They get saved and aided by some mysterious little man on a ship. After Quill, again played by Chris Pratt, crashes onto a desolate planet with the ship in pieces, they are introduced by the people that save them, which turns out to be a character named Ego. Ego happens to be Quill's father. And we find out why Quill can actually hold an Infinity Stone. He can hold an Infinity Stone because he's half human, half celestial. To give you an idea of what celestial means, it's the scientific community's way of labeling God, essentially. So, celestial being would be like a god-like being. Just to make it easy to understand. And Quill wanted to know about who he is, and being a little bit, influenced by other characters, be more specific. Gamma, whatever her name is, played by Zoe, whatever her name is. I always forget her last name because it's a very interesting African name. But they go there. Meanwhile, Rocket, Groot, and Nebula are on the ship. Oh yeah, the reward for protecting the batteries was to get Nebula from these guys. And they're on a ship, and Nebula's all tied up, of course, because she's still sort of a villain. And Ravagers. Well, Yondu was exiled, and he's hired by these people who are after the Guardians of the Galaxy to go after them, hunt them down for a bounty. And of course, Rocket has a bunch of little tricks up his sleeve and takes them all out very unlethally, and that was his mistake. He didn't use lethal force. He just kind of like incapacitate all of them. He gets captured as well as Groot. And then somehow, it plays out later, which makes us understand Yondu a whole lot more. He suggested trade with Rocket. Give me those batteries, I'll let you go. And of course, all the Ravagers are against the idea because it's only like 25% of 1 million for the bounty instead of 1 million. And so they imprison Yondu as well. And then, of course, Yondu on his Ravager ship makes a daring escape with Rocket and Groot, blowing up the ship except for a shuttlecraft-like portion and the one remaining Ravager that actually supported him. So the other ones were killed and put in the vacuum of space. Then he has this new prototype fin, which is a lot bigger than the other one he had. More powerful too. It didn't, obviously. Yondu, Rocket, Groot, and Nebula go after Quill to save him from Ego. Did we save him from what yet? Precisely. To find out pretty quickly that Ego is a power-hungry, I want to rule the galaxy type. I want to rule all existence. I want all existence to be me type. Crazy psycho. Celestial god, I guess. And he actually impregnated millions of species to try to find a spawn that would actually hold his celestial makeup. It's godlike powers. And Quill's the only one that does. Quill does not turns away from his father when he finds out that his mom got the brain cancer because Ego put it there. And so turns against Ego. And Ego tries to force it onto him because he wants his power. He wants to destroy the entire universe. And so obviously Gamora, yeah, finally got her name right this time. Gamora, now for her sister, tried to go ahead and rescue Quill. And oh yeah, in a small way, although it's not really directly in her face, I would say that Drex kind of has a girlfriend in this movie. I forget the name of this character, but this very interesting character was created by, actually not created by, but found in a lava state by Ego on their planet. She has empath and telepath abilities. Has little tendons coming out of her head. Kind of cute. But, yeah. All hell's breaking loose. No, yeah. Another little nod. Baby Groot is cute as hell in this movie. Because obviously Groot, blew himself up at the last movie. But as long as you have a branch, he can come back to life. So he's like coming back to life from an infant into teenager and all that stuff. And he's pretty much a little baby in this one. He's very, very cute. He's also very small. He's literally like that small in the entire movie. Maybe he's a tad bit bigger than that, but not by much. And so Quill, knowing what Ego wants to do, decides that we need to kill Ego. And the Celestial being, and actually his soul is a part of the planet that he created that they're on. And so they literally go to the planet's core to try to blow up the planet's core to destroy Ego. Ego is played by Kurt Russell. So very cool, interesting performance right there. It's a pretty good job too. Then we find out why Yondu has always kind of kept Quill safe. It has never killed him. It's because Yondu, kind of in a lot of ways, is Quill's father. I mean, he may have abducted Quill from Earth, but he raised Quill, taught him how to live life, stuff like that. And it's a planet that's blowing up. Yondu saves Quill because he's down there ready to die, blow up with it, and brings him into space. He has one space suit and one rocket booster. And so he gets Quill the space suit. It's like, he may have been your father, son, but he never was your daddy. And then pretty much, in the vacuum of space, casturates and dies. Dying a heroic death. Kind of a sad moment there. Then of course he gets his honor restored to Ravagers, and they all give him a Ravager funeral. And that's pretty much the end of the movie. Audio and video quality. The video quality of this one is very different from the last one. This one's actually probably the brightest Marvel movie I've seen out of all these movies. There's a lot more color in this movie. Alright, give me a second, guys. I have to do this because I'm actually working right now. I'm going to talk to people on the phone. Alright, and so basically, there's a lot of bright colors. There's a lot brighter when it comes to this movie. It's not a dark movie. It still has warm temperatures and stuff in it, but there's just enough brightness in it to where it's like, there's a lot of bright color, and it's just a brighter movie. I think it's the easiest way to put it. It's like all the other ones, but it's brighter. Now, of course, the audio. This 7.1 DTS HD Master audio track is intense, and it is very directional. This is probably one of my favorites this is probably my favorite one out of Phase 2, would be Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Like the first one, it has a lot of intensity, but this one is far more intense than the first one, which is very interesting because Disney hadn't been screwing with the sound of these movies for the past about 3 years, but this film, they didn't. And so that's actually good. So I certainly like that. But that's pretty much all there to say about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I definitely enjoyed both of these movies. And I will see you guys next time for, let's see which one. Oh yeah. See you guys next time for The Avengers Age of Ultron 3D. Until then.